金色ラブリッチェ。
おはようございます。眠そうですね。
Sure am.
せっかくの土日でしたのに休めませんね。
Bunch of stuff happened. It had been an ordeal since I ended up going along with Sylvie's whims both days. Ah, Kikucho, what were you up to the last 2 days?
僕ですか。よくぞ聞いてくれました。なんとついにエスペラント語の検定にて日常会話科の合格証をいただけたのです。
Huh?
大変でしたが今となってはやりがいのある時間でした。これでようやくまた一つ将来の蓄えができたと思うと実に晴れやかな気持ちです。
Yeah. So, Esperanto? Wait, if I remembered right, Kikucho, was that it? Don't you like light novels?
はい。
One of my old classmates was really into researching Cthulhu and stuff and could even speak Esperanto. He was, frankly, a nerd. And?
庶民はものを知らないな。
エスペラント語はれっきとした公用言語ですよ。
Oh, Who are you again?
西郷だよ。お前この前俺のこと怒鳴ったの覚えてないのか？え？本当に覚えてない？
ほら、教科書水浸し事件の。
Oh, I remember now.
本当に失礼なやつだ。これだから庶民は。
I mean, you were so freaked out after what happened that you've avoided me ever since.
ビビってないぞ。ただ庶民なんぞに時間を割いてやる無駄をやめただけで。なんだ、怒ったのか？怒ったなら怒鳴る前にまず弁護士を通してだな。
Nah, I'm not mad. So, what do you need from me today?
お前なんかに用があるか？六音寺君におめでとうを言いに来ただけだ。
おや、ありがとうございます。
英語、フランス語、アラブ語、中国語、ドイツ語に続き、ついにエスペラント語ですか。
録音時に生まれたものとして必要な素養ですので。
So, what benefit is there to learning this Esperania language?
エスペラント語。
これからの国際社会に必要な素養とされているんです。相手の国の言葉で話すのは大切だからね。
Oh, it's an international thing. But wouldn't English work in that case?
現在の国際公用語は確かに英語ですが、今後国際社会で付き合っていくべき国々には反英、反米、つまり英語を嫌う国々も多くなってきます。そこで特に多国籍の企業間の友好のために用いる仮の公用語としてエスペラント語が注目されています。
エスペラント語は母国がない、どこの国にも属さない言葉だから敵を作らないというわけ。
Oh.
お前みたいな庶民には一生縁のない世界さ。お前はまず必死こいて英語から覚えるんだな。
Language, huh? All this talk of a distant world, and here I was on the brink of failing English. Something actually had been on my mind a little. There were no English classes at Noble Academy. I guess it was a given that the students who went here could speak English. Apparently, bilingualism was a basic fundamental for elites. This seriously was a school for the elite of the elite. That's awesome, Kikucho. You learned a whole language just because you might need it in the future.
覚えたとは言えません。日常会話に不便しない程度です。
That's plenty. Sorry, I've taken you lightly until now.
お気になさらず。侮られてたので。
I've totally looked down on you ever since you oohed and awed over those porn mags.
わーわーなど言っていません。
エロ本？
いやらしい本ですか？六音寺君がそんなものを。
Oh, what? Are you all the sort that are intolerant of porn?
そんなことはない。
ですが仮に 仮に録音寺君、どんなものを見たので、どんな
This kind. I opened up that sort of page on my phone.
あ、
Ah, nice reaction.
携帯電話でこんなページが。
なんだこの程度か。ただおっぱいが出ているだけじゃないか。
こんな青臭い小娘が脱いだところで、特になんとも思いませんね。本当。
He sure was hanging in there. If you don't like immature, then how about this?
お姉さんが教えてあげる真夏のカテキョ大作戦。
And even older.
若妻の公職な昼下がり、あの人には言わないで。
Let's take it a step further.
熟女乱舞、乱れ妻たちの共演。熟女がお母さん。
One of them had shorted out.
熟女。年のいった女性というのも。
やめろ、そんなわいせつな。下品だぞ。
Cougars aren't your thing, huh? How about something a little younger then? How's this?
だからこれがどうした。バカバカしい。さすが庶民らしい低俗さだな。俺は世界に名だたる写真家のパパの仕事で、小さい頃からモデルの裸だって飽きるほど見てるんだ。こんなもの大したことないさ。
Photos don't do much. Then how about manga?
所詮絵じゃないか。これがどうした。こんな絵なんて所詮この子どうして股間が膨らんでいるんだ。
Ah, this is a crossdresser. Lots of artists draw stuff like this these days.
男？
Yes, this girl is just crossdressing, but they were born male.
バカな。こんな可愛い子が男？ついてる男！
Now they were both shorted out.
漫画。絵で描いただけでこんな。
The last one standing was growing well too.
朝っぱらからなーにやってんの教室で。
Social studies.
やめんさいよ純朴な少年たちに。
There's a certain pleasure in showing off the raw, uncensored reality to naive hearts who believe in the stork or cabbage patch.
キクチョ鼻血拭いて。
すいません。
Oh, I forgot. Kikuchio Esperanto, was it? Congrats on learning it.
はあ、どうも。エスペラント語？あれ？一つも思い出せない。頭の中が全部おっぱいだ。
Looks like I went too far.
おはよう、オーラ。おはようございます。
Oh, thanks for yesterday.
ねえねえ、オーラ、聞いて。昨日の始球式がね。
Yeah, I saw you on TV. I'm glad it went well. Sylvie looked delighted. And?
クルス・クラウンさん、夕べのテレビ、野球の試合見たわよ。素敵でしたわ。始球式なんてめちゃくちゃが普通なのに、綺麗に投げてたよね、マストで。でしょ？投げ方はオーロに教わったの。
The girls all looked my way.
教えるのがすごく上手なのよ。それに根気よく付き合ってくれて。それはそう、何よりですわ。
And off they went. I'm really out of place in class, huh?
今さら？
I told her about what happened that time our lecturer had been in the external classroom. Maybe the way I flipped out was poorly executed.
女子は引いたかもね。でもしゃあないよ。それ以前にこの学校の子ってまず庶民と自分たちは別物だって思ってるから。
Guess so. Arena seemed a bit depressed and gave me a half shrug. We were in the same boat, so I understood what she was getting at. Oh well, it's out of our control. We actually are entirely different and all.
あ、オロ、今日の午後どうする？
I don't know. As always, our afternoon lessons were optional.
もう転入して1週間になります。そろそろ何か打ち込むものを決めてはいかがです？
Easy for her to say. My dream was to graduate from the school on good terms and become a civil servant. What exactly could a guy like me get into?
打ち込むとか考えなくても自分が楽しいと思うことをやるでもいいのよ。現に私なんかは完全に趣味でピアノをやってるし。
Hobby or not, you're still able to play on a professional level. You were into fashion, was it, Arena?
将来の夢はファッションデザイナーでございます。
Kikucho takes integrated business administration and El-san does fencing.
私は体育総合。体を動かすのが主です。部活動の関係でフェンシングが多いだけで。
None of them really click with me. Any of those would be fine if it was just to go and observe, but I was hesitant to put my full effort into any of them.
こういうことは言いたくありませんが、目標なき人生は時間の浪費ですよ。
90% of young men and women are like that these days. There were those in the world who wanted to do nothing but play video games and the like. Even so, wouldn't that mean you're dedicating your life to it? In my case.
そうだ、野球をやったらどう？
Ah,
ほら、野球がとても上手でしょ？なら
no thanks.
知るやん知るやん。往路に野球はやらせちゃダメ。どうして？この学園野球部は女子しかいない。自由授業なら混ざれるけど、女の子だらけの空間に往路が自分から入ってくのはちっときつい。そうなんだ。
Yeah, I wish you wouldn't toss me in with a bunch of women. My life at the dorm was hard enough on me as it was. Wait, we have a baseball club?
ありますよ。女子野球。男子は定員割れで活動停止状態ですが。
この学校は男子が少ないですからね。チーム競技はなかなか。
A bunch of upper-class ladies playing baseball. Is that actually relevant to their future?
ノーブル学園とはいえ、将来につながることだけが推奨されているわけではありません。楽しいからやるもありですよ。
I see. I ended up wandering around campus under the pretext of observation without picking anything to do. What should I do? Focus on studying for future. It was a time that was totally foreign to me. The biggest difference between these so-called elites and a commoner like myself, rather than it being our pedigrees, bilingualism or otherwise, might just be whether or not we had a clear idea of our future prospects.
市松さん。
This was a rare person to come calling.
今晩なのですが、私、家の都合で出なければならないの。お夕飯を運べないから、キサキさんに頼んでくれていいかしら。
Oh, sure. I guess I was still under house arrest even if she couldn't keep a personal eye on me.
よかった。今後はこういう機会が増えるといいわね。私もいつまでもあなたに煩わされるのはさすがに鬱陶しいから。
How annoying. I was locked up in my room due to her whims, yet she acted like she was taking care of me. That would piss anyone off. I could go eat at the cafe by myself, you know.
それはダメよ。寮のために。
Right. Well, not that I had the guts to go buy anything given the bizarre atmosphere. So...
ところで、あなた、相馬さんと仲がいいそうね。
Huh? Soma. The name didn't click for a minute, but... Her?
朝言うと何度も部屋に出入りしてるとか。
That was just yesterday. For that matter, she just came in the morning and left at night. No, wait. Wouldn't it be better for me if she thought Ria came and went as she pleased, rather than staying in my room for 10 hours? Staying. I guess we are neighbors.
そう。まあ彼女は特殊だから何も言いませんけど。あなた、一応男性なんですから、女性を部屋に連れ込むのはあまり褒められないわね。
I don't recall ever dragging her anywhere. She was hanging out in my room of her own free will.
とにかく、彼女にはあまり近寄らないで。
Why?
なんでもよ。
A pretty firm tone. Jogasaki raised her voice. She immediately reverted to her usual calm and collected demeanor, but the way she set it down was more than enough proof that she had lost her cool for a moment.
わかったわね。彼女には近づかないで。
She glared at me. She was acting so weird today. No matter how annoyed she was with me up until now, she had always kept her composure. If you're that opposed, why don't you speak to Ria first? Tell her not to visit my room.
言えるなら言ってるわよ。
Jogasaki was losing her patience. I would tell her if I could. Flipped around, that meant she couldn't tell her anything, not that she wouldn't listen if she did. That's unexpected. Never thought you and Ria would know each other.
ただ同じ寮生のだけよ。
Off she went. She totally ran away. Is there something going on between you and Jogasaki?
何かって？
Later that evening. We didn't have any real arrangement in place, but Ria eventually came along while I was waiting for her on the school roof. Jogasaki's worried about you.
まあ。
If this has something to do with a weakness of hers, I'd love to hear about it.
下水なお前。
Ria hesitated for a second.
弱みではない。
Damn. We climbed up to the top level. You don't have any dirt on her or anything? What if she acts all hoity-toity, but she's actually a delinquent in disguise and smokes more than you do?
ねえよ。てか裏では不良だとしても知らない。あいつとはあんな親しくない。
Tja.
それに不良でもないだろうな。お嬢様中のお嬢様だ。家の迷惑になるようなことは絶対しないだろうさ。
Really?
お前のことうざがってるのも、このノーブル学園に庶民が通うと学園の質が落ちて、ひいては自分の学歴を貶めることにならないかが心配ってとこじゃね？
Is that it? I had thought it over for a few days, and many of the people annoyed with me at the school generally took pride in Noble Academy. My very presence at Noble Academy, where quote-unquote only elites attend, was a nuisance. Did Jogasaki feel that way about me too?
金持ちの基本は見えっ張りだよな。自分が完璧であるためには、自分に関わる他人も完璧であってくれなきゃ困るんだ。
What a pain. I wish they wouldn't make my life difficult just because I associated with them. Vanity like that is completely pointless.
ん？
Huh.
バカじゃねえの。
For sure, this is totally ridiculous.
お前だよ。
Huh? By the time I noticed, Ria was staring at me with a cold look in her eyes. There was none of the warmth from moments ago when I was making fun of Jogasaki.
見えっ張りってのは悪いことじゃねえだろ。
Huh? But...
自分を偽っても意味がないか？
She seemingly read my mind before I could vocalize those thoughts.
この世に自分を偽ってない人間なんていねえよ。ならその偽りの自分が少しでもいいものに、少しでも立派にあろうってのは大事なことだ。見えも張れねえプライドのないやつを世間はクズって言うんだよ。
She continued talking and wouldn't let me get a word in edgewise, almost to the point where it was irritating. But she had a point, so I had no room to argue.
彩香の気持ちもわかるぜ。自分の人生と自分の家のために完璧であろうとする。そのためには邪魔なものは排除する。他から見りゃただの見えっ張りでも、あいつはあいつの人生をあいつなりに全力で生きてる。虚しいわけあるかよ。
Ria took a puff of a cigarette. Ugh, I could understand the theory, but it was irritating.
何より、てめえのダチにいるんだろ。世界で一番見栄を張ってるやつが。
Huh?
生まれた時から王族って見栄のために完璧であり続け、ピアノを弾けばプロも超えるし、勉強運動ともに完璧。テレビで始球式なんてアイドルみたいなこともする。
Ah. Yeah, she had a point. Sylvie definitely did live an unfettered life. Still, that was her taking responsibility for the authority that came with being royalty. She put in the effort to practice, even for foolish events like a season-opening baseball ceremony. She put her life on the line to keep up appearances.
人間はさ、誰でもかっこよくありたいんだよ。かっこつけたいわけじゃなくても、かっこよくあろうとするのは大事なことさ。そいつを否定してやるなよ。
Good point. Jogasaki ticked me off to no end, so it was a hard truth to swallow. But I wanted to agree with Sylvie's way of life. No, not just her. I knew someone who would learn a language entirely unrelated to Japan for their family. One who would put their life on the line to follow their master. And one who barged her way into the school even though she wasn't rich to make her dream come true. That was a way of life I didn't want to refute. Showing off meant having pride in your own life. That much was for sure. I was probably irritated because I had nothing in my life that made me feel that way. I was missing the component that would allow me to be cool. Oh, come to think of it, Ria was awfully familiar with Sylvie's circumstances.
来たぞ。
Oh, that marked the end of our conversation. This was when she would always cut me off when prime time came on, golden time, that sparkling time. Was I living in such a time right now?